Oh, another match point.
Incredible third set here.
They changed their strategy a little bit and they fought their way back in.
There it is. Game, set, and match.
Hello and welcome to the 2025 APTA National Championships. We're live from the Philadelphia Cricket Club in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, bringing you the men's and women's national championships with live streaming brought to you by the APTA membership and our tour presenting sponsors, Volley and Corient. Local support has been provided by the following tournament sponsors: MAPTA, the Metropolitan Area Platform Tennis Association. Our platinum level sponsors, Philadelphia Insurance Companies and Xfinity. Gold level sponsors, T. Rowe Price, BLBB Financial Advisors. Beach and Morrow, Fathers and Sons, 1986 National Champions. Our silver level sponsors, Pond Hockey, Rothman Orthopedics, Pure Hockey, Royal Bank of Canada, Falcon, Total Platform Tennis. And a special thanks to our paddle party pleasers, the Chamonix Creek Brewing, Guilford Brewery, Coca-Cola, Asher Chocolates, and the official ball of the National Championships brought to us by Xenon Paddle. I'm Guy Moore along with Lauren Mandel, bringing you the round of 16 women's match between Jessica Guyaux, Jacqueline Tencza, playing against Ellie Halbauer and Jill Jackson. Welcome, Lauren.
Hi, Guy. Nice to be here for this great event. And we have the players currently warming up. On this side, on the ad side, is Jessica Guyaux. And she's warming up her partners on the other side in the deuce court, Jacqueline Tencza. And then we have in the deuce court on this side, Jill Jackson, and on the other side, her partner, Ellie Halbauer. And our chair umpire for this match is Carol Evertson, and we will be using a best 2 out of 3 sets, regular scoring, and because this is the Nationals, our premier event, even all the backdraw matches are going to be playing out a full third set instead of the 10-point tiebreaker they did all year. So this is an interesting matchup. I mean, technically, Guyaux and Tencza scored an upset in their previous round match when they beat Aubrey Banks and Gussie O'Sullivan, but I think that was a pick-em match. I mean, Guyaux and Tencza are veterans. They've been around, you know, the latter stages of tournaments for years. They just haven't played very much this year. The only tournament I believe they played together this year was Short Hills. So even though Halbauer and Jackson are the 5th seeds and have won 2 tournaments this year and have had a great season, I think this is anybody's match to win, Guy.
Yeah, for sure. You and I were talking a little bit off air. I mean, it has a potential to, I don't know, it's just a great round of 16 match. I mean, it could go either way, and it just really, like you and I were discussing, Lauren, depends on how some of these ladies play. I know that's the obvious, but Halbauer and Jackson have won a couple tournaments this season. They play pretty quick and fast. They're a great partnership. I've never seen a team smile so much. Have you?
They really like playing together.
They do. It's so cool. And, I mean, through the ups and downs of you'll see in this match, I mean, they're just a great partnership. And like you said, you know, Jessica Guyaux, she's been around a long time. And when she plays well, she's just one of the toughest competitors out there. So be fun. You know, you could see, too, for everyone watching, it's very, very sunny and very, very windy. Even in the first round matches yesterday, I mean, the sun is brutal, and I was talking to some of the players, and they were even saying, forget lobbing. I mean, lobbing was difficult, but even driving the ball with the wind behind you was you had to pay attention to it. I mean, you could see the flags. I mean, everything's sideways, right?
Right. You can see the flags blowing strong. And And, you know, it's tough with the sun, too. I mean, it really, you know, it really makes it a tough game when you have to adjust because of the sun. You can't play necessarily the way you want to play, and the wind as well. It really it changes the game, and you know, paddle often comes down to who handles the elements better.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I mean, the winds today are, I would say, a good 20 to 30 mile an hour wind. Strong. Yeah, and you, Lauren, you and I were talking about both the men's and women's draws here at the Nationals. It's probably, in my memory, you know, these two draws on both sides with the men's and women, there's just four or five teams that could honestly, it's a pick 'em that could win this tournament. And it does come down to the draw and the length of some of these matches. I mean, we saw at Short Hills like a McNerney-Morgan match, you know, going 5.5 hours.
5.5 hours. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's happening more and more, Guy. I mean, it's happening more and more. So you're right. I mean, you don't want to have back-to-back 5.5 hour matches.
No.
Welcome, everyone, to the round of 16, 2025 Women's Nationals. Quarterfinals, round of 16, I've got on my left, in the deuce court, Jacqueline Tencza. She's from Unionville, PA, and her partner, Jessica Guyaux, from Sewickley, Pennsylvania. She'll be playing in the ad court. On my right, in the deuce court, Jill Jackson from Cincinnati, Ohio, in the deuce court, and her partner, Ellie Halbauer from Cincinnati, Ohio, in the ad court. Best 2 out of 3. Good luck.
Two on one here, Lauren. Be interesting to see here too how quickly these guys get into the match. I mean, it's again repeating ourselves, but I mean the wind is strong. I mean these guys had a pretty good warm up, but they need a couple long points to really get into it. It's one of those days with the sun and the wind. If you don't get into the match early, it could. I was talking to a team yesterday and they lost kind of quickly, and they said the elements were just a huge part of it. I mean, they didn't blame it on that, but all right, here we go.
Here we go. Jacqueline Tencza to serve. She's the pro at the Philadelphia Country Club, so a local favorite here.
Jacqueline Tencza to serve. Love, love.
And I like the start of this with, obviously, even off the return, just a lob. I mean, that's what we were talking about, just getting into the match.
Love 30.
And we'll see a lot of that, Lauren. You'll see, I mean, Halbauer, I mean, that's exactly how she likes to play. She's got a big backhand. She loves to come forward, loves to play fast.
Yeah, I
And-
mean, as we've mentioned on the live stream before, Halbauer was a professional tennis player. She turned pro very young. I mean, her tennis skills her racket skills are really, 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 really top level.
Yeah, she's a very smart player too. You just saw there her hitting that probing drive and then lobbing the same person she just
15-30.
drove against. You'll see her looking for her backhand.
Just out.
Just
30
missed.
all.
And there you see the effects of the wind too. I mean, the wind is blowing directly from our screen right to left and just pulled that ball wide.
30-40.
Lauren, do you think Halbauer looks
Okay,
for?
Halbauer and Jackson. Halbauer and Jackson lead the first set, 1-0.
Do you think she looks for her backhand or forehand more?
I don't know. I mean, she hits them both really well. I mean, she definitely looks for her forehand volley. But I'm not sure. I don't know. What do you think?
I think off the return she sits on her forehand, but during the point she just commits so quickly to her backhand in a good way.
Yep.
And I think also too that she likes to transition behind driving the backhand because she's on her front right foot and she just comes forward so quickly.
Oh,
15 low.
I don't think she sees it. I don't think she saw it.
Yeah, the sun is a factor. I mean, you can see the shadows. It's a big factor actually.
30 low.
So I know it's early, Lauren, 1 love, 30 love, but this is exactly the tempo Halbauer and
40
Jackson.
low.
They love
Yeah.
this tempo. I mean, this is when I've watched them play numerous matches this season. This is exactly how they want to play.
Yeah, look, in any game you get 2 aces already.
Yeah, when's the last time that happened?
Right. I mean, great serves, by the way.
I don't know the last time I served 2 aces in a game, much less a match. How about you?
I'm pretty sure the answer is never.
Yeah, and you'll see if this tempo continues, Halbauer and Jackson will continue communicating, but they will keep the speed of the match going just like this. There's that forehand volley you were talking about, right?
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, that's always where you have to be careful with that hard roller, right? When it comes out that fast and that hard, and that was a pretty easy one to catch up with. It becomes an easy shot there for the deuce court player.
And I like Halbauer hitting that, but I also think they should just give up the net there when it comes out and see. I mean, you played your ace, just let it go. You give nothing up by going to the baseline.
Advantage, Guyaux.
And this is what
and Tencza.
Guyaux and Tencza have to do. They have to make this really a paddle match and make sure that if they lose, they lose by making Halbauer and Jackson hit a lot of tough balls in the screens and make a lot of tough, long points. You know, they can't lose in first strike paddle here.
Well, you see as well, too. I think we'll see this type of pace the entire match, too. I mean, there's plenty of driving going on, and it's just going to be quick, exciting points.
Yeah, I mean, good for us.
Exactly. Good for everybody.
Yeah.
And it's interesting.
Halbauer.
Yeah, I mean, that those Halbauer and Jackson, how much they're communicating early in the match.
Yeah. Well, they really love playing together,
Advantage, Guyaux
both
and
from
Tencza.
Cincinnati. And like you said, they're always smiling.
Comes back. Game, Guyaux and Tencza. First set stands 1 game apiece.
See if as the players get adjusted to the sun, where the sun is and the wind, the points get longer. But right now it's bam, bam.
Love 15.
Yeah, neither one of these teams are quite in the match yet. Just some uncharacteristic mistakes.
Love 30.
By the way, I did not call that fault right there, Lauren.
That's a football, Jesse. That's a football. Love 40. Advantage, Boris. Game, Halbauer and Jackson. Halbauer
All right,
and
Guy.
Jackson lead the first set. 2 games to 1 in the first set.
I have a word from one of our local sponsors. With over 80 years of workman's comp experience in Pennsylvania, 20,000 plus successful cases, and over $1 billion recovered for our clients, Pond Lee Hockey Giordano is the workers' compensation firm you want fighting for you.
I tell you what, Lauren, this whole Nationals committee in Philly have done a phenomenal job at the Philly Cricket Club. The stadium court, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, can seat 1,000 people. I mean, that's a huge venue, and they have done just an amazing job from a spectator standpoint, from a player standpoint, just terrific.
Philadelphia Cricket Club, the oldest country club in the country, founded in 1854.
Love. Off.
His sons. Yeah, right.
Yeah. You don't often see pushovers that almost hit the fence.
Well, and you know, some players have the capacity to play better in the sun than others. I always had a huge problem with the sun. But some players can put sunglasses on and they're fine.
I'm with you. I played the other day, and it was like literally blinding sun at 5 o'clock, and I couldn't see. The ball just would hit me. And then when the other team went on the other side where the sun was, I mean, it wasn't great, but they could at least see the ball, and I don't know what the difference was. But yes, some people handle the sun better than others.
Yeah, like there, Jackson coming in, she couldn't even see the ball. I mean, for me, it wouldn't, with the sun as bad as it is here today, it's just, why even coming in the net? You eliminate that being a problem. It's not even a question for me. It sounds like you too, Lauren. If you and I were playing together, we would just stay back.
Right.
When's our first tournament, Lauren? Yeah, now you're seeing. So that's a good move, right?
Yep.
You know, Halbauer stays up. If she volleys, then Jill Jackson could come in. The Sun's eliminated, really. But, you know, hitting that first volley after you're looking up.
Game, Jackson.
And there you see it. Great adjustment.
Mm-hmm.
Halbauer and Jackson lead the first set 3-1.
The other thing, too, Lauren, is even if they do get into the point and they come in, I mean, it's just much more beneficial to lob than drive because obviously hitting the overheads.
I saw the ball good. Jacqueline, I saw the ball is good. She questioned it, and I just said I also saw it as good. 15 love.
Wow. See that often.
No.
15
Hey,
all.
Jacqueline Tencza serving.
That's what I was saying too, Lauren. I mean, it's still with the wind, the sun, just the elements, a bunch of uncharacteristic errors, but it's a lot of it's due to those two factors. It really is. I mean, you don't see players fault this much.
Yeah.
You just don't.
Game, Halbauer and Jackson. Halbauer and Jackson lead the first set 4-1.
Guy, did you know that volley players have hit 7 million balls? That's a lot of high-quality training. Don't get left behind. Get your reps in with volley. Whether it's day or night, you're in control of your training. Volley offers world-class training on demand, helping you sharpen your skills and level up your game whenever it fits your schedule. Ready to join the movement? Start training smarter with volley today.
So, Lauren, what do you think? 4-1 Halbauer Jackson. Again, I don't think either team's really in this match yet, even though the score is decisive, but it just doesn't feel that way, right?
No, I don't think we can really say anything from the first 5 games. I mean, they were basically Tencza and Guyaux both lost the last 2 service games in, I would say, 30 seconds each, just missing serves. And so I think they'll work their way into this match, but I don't think we can really make much judgment about what's happened so far. Obviously, Halbauer and Jackson are handling the conditions better. That we can say.
I concur with you, Lauren.
Love 15.
I do feel like on either side of the court, yeah, you'll see Halbauer speeded up here, but and I like that. If they're gonna, yeah, I was just gonna say that on either side of the court, Sun, win, whatever. I mean, I just feel like the baseline team has the advantage. you can see Tencza and Guyaux playing in that typical stagger with Tencza hanging on the net.
Love 40.
Jessica hanging back, hitting overheads off her front foot.
That's game. Guyaux and Tencza.
Not a lot of service holds, right?
Halbauer and Jackson,
No.
4. Guyaux and Tencza, 2.
All right, well, let's see if Guyaux and Tencza can build on that and have a better service.
Love
No.
15. That's a foot fault.
Oh,
Wow.
gosh.
Left one, the front. One of the front.
And you know how it is, too. I mean, once you start thinking about your serve, because you're missing, and then you're getting foot faults called, and then you can't think about anything else. And then even if you get the serve in, you can't hit the next ball. So it's going to become a mental battle.
Yeah, you could see she's a good 4 or 5 inches behind the baseline.
50-40.
Lauren, nobody's in this match yet.
No, no, exactly. Like, I just want to see a few good points strung together from everybody.
But this is a typical match for Halbauer Jackson. This is
Yeah.
Again, this is how they like to play.
You see Guyaux staying back there and just placing
Smart.
her serve in. She has no chance of foot faulting that way, and that was good thinking. But good overhead.
Game, Halbauer and Jackson. Halbauer and Jackson lead the first set. 5 games to 2.
And we have a word from another one of our local sponsors.
We're up for a ball change. How do you all feel?
BLBB Advisors is a wealth advisory firm founded in Chestnut Hill that has proudly served generations of individuals, families, endowments, and business owners in our community. For more than 6 decades, they have been dedicated to providing strategic fiduciary guarantee and personalized investment planning using its Plan, Invest, Succeed process.
What do you think, Lauren, from Jessica and Jacqueline?
I think that actually, believe it or not, that was a better game, a better service game. They lost the game on the nick at the end, and there was a foot fault and a fault, but she stayed back. She looked a little more comfortable. Guyaux, I just think they got to slow it down, and I know that's not their way to play, Tencza and Guyaux, but I think that when they slow the game down and the points have been longer, the few longer points that we've had, it's to their advantage.
Love 15.
Yeah, and you know what it is too, Lauren. It goes back to the basics. You got to stop faulting. You got to stop missing serve returns. That's it.
Yeah.
You got to get. My point is, you got to get into every single. My
Right.
point is, you better get into every single point. How about that?
Right. You can't lose the points on the first 3 shots. And that plays right into Halbauer Jackson's hands, and you're going to win this match because you're the more experienced paddle players, not because you're going to out-hit them in a 1-2-3 battle if you're Guyaux and Tencza.
Yeah, the analytics still say that most paddle points in within the first 3 shots, and this is a great example of that so far.
Mm-hmm.
Love 30.
And I do like that tactic with them staying back, one up, one back, and Halbauer just fading back to the baseline if the ball goes by her.
Well, the return of serve error, that's when you're staying back, boy, what could make you happier?
It is. Red bag in a picture. 30 off, correct? 30. 30 off. It's you guys serving, so it's 30 off. 15-30. No good. It's always good.
Yeah, just be nice to see Guyaux and Tencza get some rhythm here.
30 off.
They could be right back in this match easily.
Yeah, I think they will. It's just, you know, from their perspective, is it going to be too late? It may be too late this set. We'll see.
And we've talked about it in many matches before. I mean, whether they win or lose this set,
40-30.
which is highly unlikely they win it, but at least recreate some momentum in their favor starting the second set. Set point here.
30. Low. Deuce. Advantage, Guyaux and Tencza.
Well, I'll tell you what, Lauren, I mean, nothing's changed this entire set, right?
How many points have we had over 8 shots, do you think?
Not
that many.
No.
Deuce.
There you go. That was about 5, right?
Yep.
Advantage, Guyaux and Tencza.
You just don't see teams like this missing the balls that they, you know, respectively on both sides of the net. They're missing lobs and serves and returns.
No, I mean, these are two good teams, and
Really good.
It doesn't look it right now, and all of them. I mean, it's just a spotty set. Nobody's comfortable.
And we've said it over and over, but I credit a lot of this just to the elements.
Yeah.
I can't tell everyone out there watching how bad the sun is and how windy it is. It's just, you would not call it a perfect paddle day. I'll say that. But at the same time, it comes down to who deals with it.
Right, and that's, you know, there are fewer perfect paddle days than not, and so, you know, it often comes down to who deals with the elements better. You know, some players are much better in the rain than other players.
For sure. I would not be one of them.
No, me neither. I need perfect paddle weather, guy.
So Lauren, what you're saying, if you and I are going to play together,
Yeah.
that we
have to check the weather first.
Yeah. Okay. Before we play any matches, my people will call your people and just make sure we're good.
That's right.
Is that cool?
That's great.
Advantage, Guyaux and Tencza.
And honestly, Lauren, I mean, this set still could go either way.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, even obviously looking at the score 5-2, I mean, it still could go either way.
But as we know, in a paddle set with two relatively well, you know, evenly matched teams, 5-2 is not a foregone conclusion.
Halbauer and Jackson lead the first set 5-3.
And I got to think as the longer the set goes, even if they lose it, the better it is for Guyaux and Tencza, because they're only going to lift the level of their game.
For sure. And that's what we were just mentioning. I mean, them winning that game is it's just very nice to have some of that momentum, and I don't think it's going to change the pace of this match. It's going to be the same. It's just it's going to come down to this, Lauren, who makes fewer mistakes, which it always does. But
Tencza's really struggling today with her serve.
Love 30.
And by the way, you know, when you are having those days with your serve and whatnot, you can serve any way you want. Serve it underhand. I mean, just get it in, right?
Sometimes it's hard, right? If as someone who has struggled with their serve, sometimes when you just try to get it in, you can't do that either. You know, Tencza has a good serve normally. I mean,
30 all.
there we go.
And then both staying back, and you saw Guyaux playing, you know, to our right, but
30-40.
and you're right. I mean, there's 3 faults in this game. I mean, it's just you see where Guyaux's standing. She's standing over there because that's her side, and then Tencza just slides over.
Yeah, Tencza likes that backhand too. I mean, she really hits the ball well off both sides. She can just get herself into these points. She's won. They won all the points where the serve has gone in.
And I do like them both staying back. I mean, it goes to what we were just discussing, and it eliminates, you know, if we're talking about the point ending within the first 3 shots, serving is not an advantage in paddle unless you just have a huge serve that can go to the screen where you don't have to really worry about the first volley, but you're in charge of 2 out of those 3 points when you're serving, right, or shots. It's when you stay back, you eliminate that first volley altogether.
This is the longest point of the match.
Advantage Halbauer and Jackson.
Okay, set point number 2.
And I think, too, an adjustment that I'd like to see, well, and there's the set there.
Halbauer and Jackson.
To be continued. Lauren, we'll be right back in just a moment after these messages right here on the
First set goes to Halbauer and Jackson, 6 games to 3.
right here on the APTA YouTube channel presented by Guyaux.
At Volley, we build tools to unlock your potential. The new Volley PTI feature breaks down your game like never before. Ever wondered, which partner has impacted my PTI the most? What's our win percentage as the favorite or underdog? Do I perform differently in 2 or 3 set matches? Now, it's all at your fingertips. The PTI tool is free to everyone. Download the Volley app today and level up your game. We'll see you on the court.
At Corient, wealth management begins and ends with you. We believe the more personal the solution, the more powerful the result. We treat your goals as our own. We never lose focus on the life you want to build. And our experienced advisors design custom-built strategies to help you get there. It's time for a wealth management experience as sophisticated as you are. It's time for Corient.
You know you have an account with Philadelphia. A, they're covered properly. You know, the policy is second to none. And B, you're gonna have no service issues, whether it's inspections, claims, billing, whatever the problem may be, they're on top of it.
I love working with Philadelphia insurance companies. It's easy doing business with them. They make us look good.
It's a cultural thing with Philadelphia. Everybody is there for you.
All right, how do we stream all of these games?
Well, we engineered a fast, reliable Xfinity internet.
So you never miss a moment while streaming live sports?
Isn't that the best part about working here?
No, it's the uniform.
Actually, Mr. Jalen, I do feel a little self-conscious.
Yeah, and I feel ridiculous.
I mostly feel cold.
Meeting over.
It's fine. Try to make y'all look fresh. They don't get it.
Score the ultimate sports streaming experience with Xfinity Sports and News TV. Save more than $150 a year over YouTube TV.
Welcome back to the APTA Tour. We're here at the 2025 Men's and Women's National Championships in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, with this round of 16 matchup between Jessica Guyaux and Jacqueline Tencza, playing against our number 5 seed, Ellie Halbauer and Jill Jackson. Jill Jackson and Halbauer won the first set 6-3. Lauren, what do you think is going to happen here in the second set?
I don't know. I mean, look, the conditions are going to remain a factor, and Halbauer and Jackson definitely handled them better. I think that if Guyaux and Tencza can, if they can figure out how to have less trouble with their serves this set, they both really, they both are, normally reliable servers, but they both really struggled with getting their serves in, and that's just a recipe for a disaster in a paddle match. So I think that if Guyaux and Tencza can serve better, I think this will be a much more competitive set.
Yeah, it sounds basic, but you're absolutely right. I mean, there has been just a heavy amount of faulting, and it's simple. You don't get into any rhythm because you're not in enough points. So.
And when you do get it in, you're thinking about it, and it's a constant drain on you. Oh, I got to serve, I can't get my serve in. So look, these guys have a lot of experience, and they will, I'm sure, try to figure out how to deal with it. And like you said, maybe they can figure out how to just push their serve in and just get it in and start the point. But you see Guyaux staying back; she's taking all the pressure off of Tencza's serve. And we'll see how it goes.
15 love.
And what I'd like to see, even though Halbauer and Jackson have won the first 6-3, and they're up 1 love here, I want to see Halbauer hitting more overheads, because with this pace in the match, her roller just like this you're seeing, and her hard side backs will just keep Tencza and Guyaux off balance. They're both, look, I mean, they're both hitting the ball hard.
15
And we mentioned it earlier, Lauren, the Philly Cricket Club has just done an amazing job with the layout of this tournament, and just it's so spectator friendly and player friendly. I've never heard anyone talk about how much they've enjoyed being at a venue as much as I had so far this tournament.
I mean, it's an incredible venue. They have a lot of history there. They've hosted what's now the U.S. Open. They've hosted, I know they hosted a premier junior grass court tournament that I was lucky enough to play in 150 years ago. That is always, many top amateur tennis events at the Philly Cricket Club, and it's known to be just a top-notch class act.
What do you think about, Lauren, what do you think about the women's draw going forward from here?
I am so excited about this women's draw. I think there are so many, just so much more, so many good young players coming up. I mean, Paige and Lopez came out of almost nowhere. I mean, they both been playing, but nobody thought they were going to be contending for a national title. And now you almost, even though they're the 3rd seed, you almost have to call them the favorites, because they've won the last 2 tournaments, beating Elliott and Burish, the defending champions. Now, Elliott and Burish are nobody's fool, and they are going to come back out with a vengeance here. And you can't count out Flor Hanisch and Anna Maria Zabora. I mean, Lopez and Paige got the best of them too, and Burris and Elliott have had the best of them. But I wouldn't count them out either. They're incredibly talented, smart competitors, and I'm sure they're going to figure out how to adjust. And, you know, if those top 3 teams aren't playing at their best, Morgan and Sakura and the players on this court and a number of other teams are all going to be there to step in. So I think that as we get to the latter stages of today and tomorrow, it's going to be incredibly exciting.
Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head. I mean, I've talked to all of the top teams on the ladies' side, and I promise you, they are all making adjustments. They've seen each other a lot this year. I mean, Burris and Elliott have seen Zabori and Hanisch a lot. Paige and Lopez, as of recently, I mean, they're not going to play the same way. I mean, they're all these teams. Well, Paige and Lopez can keep playing the way they're playing because
they're winning.
Yeah, they're you know, the last half of the season. I mean, they've just, like you said, I mean, they've been the team to beat, but it just makes it fun. I mean, that's what rivalries are, right? I mean, it can't be all one-sided. It's not a rivalry then, is it?
No, it's not.
It's funny. I mean, years and years ago when Andy Roddick was playing tennis, they said, someone asked him, and you know how great he was with the media.
Yep.
They said, what do you think about your rivalry with Federer? And he goes, that's not a rivalry. I mean, you actually got to win to be in a rivalry. But, you know, all these teams are, you know, on the ladies' side, I mean, take the top 4 seeds. I mean, they're just close. And whoever makes the better adjustment probably will win.
Advantage, Guyaux, Tencza.
And that's what makes paddle such an interesting sport, right? I mean, because all these players are you know, have all the shots and have all the ability in the world, you can't just play straight up. You have to figure out what is going to give you the advantage against your opponents, and then you have to execute. And throw in some sun and some wind and, you know, who knows what else, and that's another factor. So
I do feel like here early in this second set, Lauren, that things have slowed down, though.
Yep.
Which is good for Tencza and Guyaux.
That's deuce.
But gosh, they really need to get in the set here and win this game.
Good lob volley from Jackson.
Advantage, Halbauer, Jackson.
And that's what I was saying. So on the return, it's interesting with Halbauer. She loves her forehand return, but during the point, she edges towards her backhand side just like that. And I do believe she looks for a backhand during the point because of the, like we said earlier, she likes to transition in behind that a little bit better than her forehand.
I mean, props to Tencza. She's figured out. She's figured out her serve. It looks like, which, you know, I hope I didn't just jinx her, but it's nice to see. Perfect.
Game, Halbauer, Jackson. Halbauer and Jackson lead the second set. 2 games to love.
And if that template continues, Lauren, with Halbauer hitting those roller overheads, I mean, she does have one of the best roller overheads on the women's tour for sure. And she keeps it coming. It's not like one roller and then a push. It's bang, bang, bang.
15 love.
So I'm Guy Moore here with Lauren Mandel. Our players, we have Jessica Guyaux on the top right of our screen. the green hat on, her partner, Jacqueline Tencza. And we have Ellie Halbauer hitting that overhead, that roller we were just talking about, and her partner in the white hat, Jill Jackson.
15-all.
By the way, Lauren, I've watched Halbauer and Jackson play, I don't know, 10 matches. I've never seen one of them hang their head. It doesn't matter ever. Have you?
No. They don't have much to hang their head about in this match, but in general, no. They don't. They have a great attitude.
And I tell you what, one of the things that have made them so successful is their communication. They just communicate really, really well.
Chance for Guyaux and Tencza to get on the board here.
Ooh. That's game, Guyaux and Tencza. Halbauer and Jackson lead the second game set, 2-1. Halbauer and Jackson won the first set, 6-3.
At Pure Hockey, our mission is to share our passion for hockey and deliver an unmatched shopping experience to inspire a lifelong love for the game and be the trusted partner for players, families, and organizations nationwide. Come visit us at a Pure Hockey store near you. Well, Guy, Guyaux and Tencza certainly needed that game.
Absolutely, and again, it's going to come down to who just eliminates kind of the uncharacteristic mistakes that we've seen from both teams. Lobs long, again, a lot to do with the win. Like you said, Tencza has figured out her serve a little bit. You can't start a game and fault 2 or 3 times and just give your opponents, 30-love, 40-love leads. I mean, so I like them both staying back here. It's good. And again, you see Tencza playing that side of the court because that is her side. She can stand wherever she likes.
Yeah, it always looks funny to people who haven't done that, but it makes perfect sense. You just stay on your side. Why have to scramble when you don't need to?
Exactly. Yeah, I was just going to say that I wouldn't be surprised if you see all 4 players back with the sun the way it is. The reason for that, clearly you see the sun in the eyes of Halbauer and Jackson, but Guyaux and Tencza don't want to come in because they want to make like there. I mean, she can't even see the ball, right?
Yep. Make your opponents who can't see at the net hit overheads. It makes it's paddle 101.
Yeah, so you might see all 4 players stay back because Halbauer and Jackson don't want to come in, and Guyaux and Tencza want them to come in where the sun's a factor. Again, can't even see the ball. I would look for Halbauer and Jackson to.
40-love.
I would be shocked if they don't stay back here. So that's what I was talking about. You see all 4 players? Exactly.
Oh my God, pretty funny.
Yeah, but it's kind of that testing of wills there, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was Guyaux and
Game, Guyaux and Tencza.
all right, so 2-2
Second
here,
set is tied at 2 games each.
and still, Lauren, nobody's in this match.
No.
You agree?
I do. I mean, I guess the conditions are just making it too hard for anyone to get any sort of a rhythm
sure.
and settle in.
You know what it is too with the elements, and I know that we've obviously discussed it over and over again. The reason for it is because they're dramatic today, but no one's dialing into a tactic and just sticking to it, saying, "Hey, the sun and wind are bad. This is how we're going to play on this side of the court," and we're sticking to it. There's no definitive plan.
No, it's more just survival mode.
Exactly.
15 love.
And I tell you what, from Guyaux and Tencza's standpoint, I would just keep lobbing the ball with these two at the net. And if Halbauer and Jackson are going to play the net, they just want to speed it up as quick as they can. They don't want long points.
Just get wide.
It's interesting too, you know, the Nationals started yesterday for both the men's and the women's draws, but 64 draw, and then by the end of the day yesterday, you're down to 16 teams in each draw. I mean, that's where we are this morning. I mean, and we're already quickly, the winner of this match goes to the quarters, and
yeah, it happens quickly. We're just not used to it because, this is the first time that we've started on a Thursday.
Right. And, I'm only mentioning that because, the whole
15-40.
The whole build-up all year long is for this tournament, for the obvious. But, you're at the end of Thursday, you look at it and you're still alive. I mean, you're like, there's only 6 teams left. 16 teams left. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like here, I think Halbauer and Jackson should have just stayed back the entire game. They're just in between.
Game, Guyaux and Tencza.
All right, for the first time, Guyaux and Tencza have a lead.
Second set, 3 games to 2. Halbauer and Jackson won the first set, 6 games to 3.
Corient is the official wealth sponsor of the APTA's 2024-25 season. Corient is a fee-only wealth manager who puts their clients at the center of everything they do. Learn more at corient.com.
This one we're due up just now, actually. Just now.
So, Guy, do you think, Guyaux and Tencza are leading now? They were down 2 love this set. Do you think anything has really changed?
Yeah, they're just making fewer mistakes.
Yes.
That's it.
That's it.
I mean,
Yeah, new
what
ball, ladies.
what has our
7-8.
longest point been in this match? 30 balls.
Yeah.
So, and it's not going to change. It's just not. And I don't blame any of them out there for not wanting to change. This is one of those matches where you just want to get off the court as quick as you can.
Right. You have to grit your way through it.
Exactly.
Love.
And Tencza and Guyaux staying back there, very, very smart.
I think that's been the best adjustment they've made. They're doing much better on their service game since they started doing that.
Absolutely. And they will come in and see there. I mean, it's just, I just don't know why on that side of the court you just don't stay back. I mean, you cannot see the ball.
Just back. 15-30.
What do you think about Halbauer and Jackson staying back and making Guyaux and Tencza come in? I mean, they can't make them, but if they stay back, they probably would.
I think that they're pretty happy getting to the net on this side where they can see the ball, and it gives Halbauer a chance to win the point outright like that, which she's done many, many times. So I think that they're, until that starts to not work, they'll stick with it.
Yeah, I think the more touches Halbauer gets,
30-40.
the better off it is at the net.
Mm-hmm.
Great lob.
Yeah, good.
So good. And, you know, when you lob with purpose like that down the line, clearly you see Jackson had to go over to Tencza, created the movement, which, by the way, just created what you just saw. I mean, even though it was 5 balls later, that lob set it all up.
Well, it's interesting, too. You know, there were 2 great lobs in this point by Guyaux and Tencza, but then it's sort of like what you were saying. Do they want to come in and take the net when the lob goes through? I don't know.
I wouldn't, but
yeah,
maybe the variety's the good part of it. I don't. You know, you have that habit, right? When you
Halbauer and Jackson.
When you lob well or lob over somebody's head, you're just so accustomed to coming in. You got to remind yourself that. And that's something that they want to communicate and make sure that one person's not coming in, the other one's staying back. Great lob again. Boy, that lob's good. And see that there you saw him staying back, even though the lob went over their head like we just discussed.
Game, Halbauer and Jackson. Second set is tied at 3 games each.
And by the way, Lauren, even though they lost that game, tactically, I still think it was correct. I mean, that's just a technical mistake by Guyaux, and she doesn't miss many forehands like that. So separating what's tactical and what's technical, very important.
Yeah, and this match really feels dead even now, which it is this set.
Love.
I do think if you ask me, like one of the biggest early adjustments that Halbauer and Jackson made, you're seeing it right now with the serve,
30,
with one person. You know, I mean, Jackson has no intent of coming in at all, but they made this adjustment very early in the match, and even though it's kind of minute, I mean, it's kind of the best of all worlds. Jackson's not faulting. She doesn't have to worry about a first volley. Halbauer's up there.
Right. Halbauer and Jackson have managed their serves much better than their opponents, mostly because they're not struggling with faults.
Exactly. And playing in that 1-up, 1-back with the server not coming in. Very smart. And you just saw a glimpse there with all 4 players staying back.
30-15.
Okay, this game looked like it was going to be an uncomplicated game for Halbauer Jackson, but not anymore.
Yeah, throughout this match, I mean, on both sides of the net, both teams have just made uncharacteristic mistakes. You don't see it that often. And again, it's just
40-30.
Good job getting out of the way there by Halbauer.
it almost hit her ponytail, Lauren.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Halbauer and Jackson switch here. It's a big point. Big point for both teams.
I don't think you're going to get your wish.
I don't either. Maybe. The longer the point go, the more it favors me, though, Lauren.
That's true. Good volley.
Deuce.
Taking nothing away from Jackson's overhead, there's just more variety from Halbauer, right? And that roller puts you on your heels. So, you know, you have probably, for both teams, the biggest point in the match so far. And for Halbauer Jackson, even more important because they were up an ad.
Yeah, you want to put your best foot forward, right, on the biggest point of the match, which that definitely was.
Advantage Halbauer Jackson.
See if they flow into what we want them to here. There it is.
Yep.
Deuce.
I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything, Lauren.
That was a bad error from Halbauer.
Other than Halbauer, what did you do that for? I think it goes without saying. Both of these teams know this is the most important game of the match.
Yeah, I was just going to say that Jackson wants to be careful. She doesn't want to give Tencza a backhand to hit because Tenza's caught her at the net quite a few times with her backhand drive.
Advantage Guyaux Tencza.
Good job by Guyaux Tencza. They're making Halbauer Jackson play a lot of balls at the net in these last few points.
Absolutely, and without Halbauer hitting, I mean, basically, and that's why we keep going back to it. I mean, as long as Jackson hits her overhead, and again, taking nothing away from it, it just doesn't have.
Game Guyaux Tencza. Guyaux and Tencza lead the second set, 4-3. Halbauer and Jackson won the first set, 6-3.
Yeah, the roller from Halbauer when she's up there just keeps Tencza and Guyaux much. I mean, they keeps their back against the screen. So
yeah,
I wonder if they'll, the longer this match goes, make that adjustment.
Right, because as it is now, with Jackson serving, if they do the one up, one back, then Halbauer moves to the left. But otherwise, they're staying on their sides, and it's having Jackson hit a lot of volleys. Overhead, sorry.
Love 15.
And again, great move by Tencza and Guyaux, just staying back. I mean, it's because a lot of their mistakes in this match had been because of faulting and first volley errors. I mean, all the pressure's off them by staying back.
Yeah, and you know, the other thing is,
wow, great gets on both sides
yeah.
from Jackson and Halbauer.
When you're playing a team that's missing a lot of serves and all of a sudden they stop missing serves,
Right.
that's hard. You're used to a couple free points a game.
Absolutely, and by them staying back, there's no target either.
Right.
It's amazing, right? We've all been there, how easy it is to miss when you see the big ocean, right?
Yep.
This point right here, too, Lauren, is more of what we kind of expected for the duration of this match. I suppose, too, Lauren, if we were going to talk about how to speed up a point, this would be a good example, right?
Yep. Here's the replay. A couple of great gets, great volleys. There's what we were talking about.
30-15.
Again, I think that hard roller is a great shot. Just give the net up when you see that Tencza's balanced.
The tide has turned, Guy.
It sure has, and this is actually no surprise because watching Guyaux play for years and years, I mean, she can turn it around pretty quickly.
40-30.
All four back. How long are we going to stay this
Game,
way?
Guyaux.
Wow.
And Tencza.
Oh, my
Guyaux,
goodness.
Tencza lead the second set 5 games to 3.
And Lauren, I'm going to ask you this question. Where do you think the messiness of this match comes from on both sides? I mean, we've talked about it over and over again, but it's worth repeating.
Say it again? Sorry, couldn't hear you.
The messiness of this match.
Oh, well, I mean, clearly the elements are
100%.
Playing a huge role in this match. The wind and the sun, I mean, you can see them squinting, and the wind is making lobs unpredictable, and people are having to stay back where they'd like to come in, and it's just nobody can play the way they want to play.
Absolutely. You couldn't be more correct. I mean, there's just no one has any rhythm. I mean, it's...
I mean, you know, Guyaux and Tencza made so many errors, most of them off their serves in the first set, that it was hard to think they wouldn't do better in this set. And they've really cleaned it up a lot, to their credit. And so now they're in a position to win the set because they just cut out a lot of the mistakes they were making.
Yeah, and even here, I mean, even though now Guyaux and Tencza are up, I mean, this set could still go either way.
Yeah. And by the way, it's not like they're playing great now either. I mean, they're all still struggling. But, you know, when everybody's struggling like this and having to contend with conditions they don't like, it's very small adjustments and margins that change it.
Very true.
I think that last game where Halbauer and Jackson had a few points to win the game and didn't to make it 4-all, I think that was a tough game to lose and may turn out to be crucial in this set.
And we always talk about it, you know, that 7th game, that 3-all game was, we said it. I mean, it was probably the most important game of the match, and it's proven to be more important for Guyaux and Tencza now. See, I like
yes.
I like Halbauer's hard roller there instead of
at her.
Yes, exactly, because she has to get out of the way first and then chase. She kind of gets caught in the blender, right?
And once you start having to get out of the way and whatever, it's too late when it's coming that hard. I mean, Halbauer's roller is hard. You just don't have enough time.
Yeah, when that roller, when she plays it off the back side, then it's an easy transition in for Tencza. There it is.
40-30.
I mean, you got to say that is the most consequential shot on the court. And so if you're Halbauer and Jackson, you want to get in position to hit that shot as much as you can. So get Halbauer over on the left.
For sure. And, I mean, we were talking about it games ago. And I think that adjustment could be easily the difference in the match when they're at the net. Because Tencza's always got to look for that.
Mm-hmm.
And if she's looking for that, Lauren, she's not looking for offense. I mean, her main prerogative is just getting out of the way.
Halbauer and Jackson. Second set is tied. Pardon me. Guyaux and Tencza lead the second set 5-4. Halbauer and Jackson won the first set 6-3.
All right, Lauren, what are you thinking?
I don't know. I'm thinking this is a lot more of what I thought this match was going to be. I couldn't, in my brain, decide who I thought had the advantage in this match, and I still can't. I think that Ellie Halbauer has a very good serve and has served well.
5 serving 4.
I think if Jackson and Halbauer want to win this match in this set, and again, Jill Jackson is such a great partner to Halbauer. Halbauer's just got to take over the match, especially at the net.
Yes, and I think that, you know,
50
great shot. Look, I think that if Tencza can she seems to have solved her problems on her serve, and that's a big reason her team is in this match and is in position to win this set. And I think it'll be fitting if she can serve a good game here.
Yeah, so if they had a
2 points from the set.
Right, if they had more of a definitive net scheme, Jill Jackson would have played that ball easily. They're just not sure, right? I want Halbauer and Jackson. Halbauer to say, look, I'm going to stand back on the service line. You hang on the net, and I'm just going to control the whole tempo of my overhead.
30-15.
That's a volley that you don't see Jessica Guyaux miss too often.
You see Jackson sliding hard to a right, allowing Halbauer to swing away. Good look there from Guyaux.
Good luck.
Ooh, I like that look a lot. And you know, when the tempo's this quick, it's going to be very similar to that.
Right on the line.
Okay,
Who's gonna?
Exactly.
Nobody wants to hit that volley in the sun or in transition.
No.
30-40.
Again, though, Lauren, you see from a net perspective that Halbauer has been to Jill's left, and certainly I hope they know that that's a great adjustment, but I'm not certain. We'll see if Jackson ends up on the left if they switch out.
Right, we'll see when Jackson serves what they do.
That's all right. That's a good miss. Yeah, what Halbauer is doing right now is just applying tons of pressure. And if she's on, it's going to be great for them. If she's not, it's going to be great for Guyaux and Tencza. I mean,
Advantage, Halbauer Jackson.
Lauren, I would say, would you say that?
I would.
Okay. Now, you know, going to the other side, you know, that lob down the line from Guyaux or cross court from Tencza, you know, to create some confusion. I mean, they need to do that quickly. And if they can't get the lob where they want it, don't lob, right? Don't give Halbauer see, that's a great lob. Exactly. So the lob 3 balls ago set that up.
Yes. I mean, it's like you said, Halbauer and Jackson, their positioning at the net is not airtight. There are holes there, and it's hard in the wind to find those holes because it's hard to control everything so perfectly, but that's what they got to do.
Yeah, flirting with that alley. But, you know, on both sides, I mean, Guyaux and Tencza need to recognize, hey, Halbauer is taking over the match. You know, how do we neutralize her to a degree? And that's by making Jackson hit more balls, whether it be overheads or volleys. It's a great lob.
Yeah, or make Halbauer hit that overhead.
Great
That
lob.
is a tough overhead.
Well, you saw that lob, I mean, was so good, and then Jackson moved out of the way, but then didn't quite get tight enough back on the net. So it's a great combination. Great adjustments by Guyaux and Tencza in this game.
in just the right amount of time, in just
For
in
sure.
just the
I
nick
mean,
of time.
it was so quick.
Yeah.
Again, great lob. You know, it's fun to see that too, Lauren. The two great teams like these ladies making that quick of an adjustment within a game, not like saying, okay, we just lost that game. They're making it in the middle of the game.
Yeah.
They're seeing it and adjusting.
There it is again. It's going to work every time.
So I would say this too. If that lob, where's it coming from? Guyaux, correct? Stop hitting the ball to her.
Yeah.
Right? Stop hitting the ball to her. That lob is burning you. as Tencza just hits a great one.
Yep. Oh.
Again.
Advantage Halbauer Jackson.
Halbauer and Jackson got away with one there, I'll tell you.
Well, I don't
Guyaux
even
tends to hit three great lobs at that point, but they can't take advantage of it really because they can't come in because of the sun.
Yeah, there's no blitzing or transition there at all, and you can't blame anybody for it. I mean,
No,
the sun's actually worse now than it was an hour ago.
Yeah.
That's a good ball. I was just going to say we got.
Game Halbauer Jackson. Second set stands tied at 5 games each.
Yeah, the lobs that were hurting down the line too, Lauren, from
Halbauer Jackson won the first set 6 games to 3.
Guyaux were the ones that were played off the deck. So when she gets the ball into the side back, especially at that pace, that's just Guyaux trying to lob the ball high and neutralize, not worried as much about direction. All right, here we go. Halbauer hitting all the overheads.
I guess we're going to see.
15 love.
Right now, we're going to see. Right now.
Right.
Here we go, Lauren. Okay, we might have to wait 2 more points to see.
We didn't see much of anything there.
It's all right. Okay, we'll get a little look here, Lauren.
40-15.
I guess it's just not meant to be.
It's not meant to. We're not meant to know.
Game Halbauer Jackson. Halbauer and Jackson lead the second set, 6 games to 5. Halbauer and Jackson won the first set, 6 games to 3.
You know, and just when it looked like Guyaux and Tencza had the momentum and had, you know, figured some things out, they just kind of went away a little bit.
Absolutely, and it's just frustrating when you're, I mean, tough enough to be in the round of 16 at the Nationals, and you know every match is a battle, and then to deal with all the excess. I mean, look at the wind, the sun. I mean, it's just frustrating. And we've said it again numerous times in this stream. I mean, it's just coming down to who's dealing with those things better. That's it. This match you could play tomorrow with clouds and no wind, and it could be completely different. It could be a pick 'em easily.
Yeah, and regardless of the outcome, it would look completely different.
For sure. And you see the refusal of Halbauer and Jackson to come in there.
Love 15.
And the winner of this match, Lauren, will be playing
Love 30.
against Lopez and Page, who won their round of 16 handily, 6-0, 6-1.
That's going to be a tough ask for anyone in this tournament. Lopez and Page are brimming with confidence and playing really great paddle.
For sure. At the right time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've spoken about that, but you see Halbauer coming in behind that backhand side. And the nice thing about her moving forward is she's staying on her side of the court where she doesn't get beat down the line. If there's something pushed or soft in the middle, she'll cut that off. But otherwise, she's doing her job first, which is to cover her line.
I think this is the best point we've had.
Absolutely.
Looks like maybe the wind has died down a little. Smart shot from Jackson.
Sure is. I mean, she had no intent of trying to hit through there. She's just hitting a spotted drive. And as soon as that ball came back to her, if it did, she would probably just lob it.
Game, Halbauer and Jackson. Match goes to Halbauer and Jackson. 6-3, 7-5. Thank you. You're welcome.
Lauren, loved calling that match with you. I wish we could have had different conditions
yes.
for both sides. I mean, it really was a tale of the wind and the sun. I mean, it's just tough to ever get comfortable, but Halbauer and Jackson, I think their experience and partnership pulled them through there. I do think they made some good adjustments, especially at the net. We said it, Halbauer needs to take over, and she did from 5-3 down in that second set.
Yeah, and I was impressed. They lost that really close game down 4-3. They had a bunch of points to make it 4-all on Jackson's serve, and they put it behind them, and they got back to business. And Guyaux and Tencza did pick up their game, but Halbauer and Jackson stayed the steadier team, and they were rewarded for it. So pleasure, Guy. Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren. That's a wrap from this women's round of 16 match. We'll be back shortly.
At Volley, we build tools to unlock your potential. The new Volley PTI feature breaks down your game like never before. Ever wondered, which partner has impacted my PTI the most? What's our win percentage as the favorite or underdog? Do I perform differently in 2 or 3 set matches? Now, it's all at your fingertips. The PTI tool is free to everyone. Download the Volley app today and level up your game. We'll see you on the court.
At Corient, wealth management begins and ends with you. We believe the more personal the solution, the more powerful the result. We treat your goals as our own. we never lose focus on the life you want to build. And our experienced advisors design custom-built strategies to help you get there. It's time for a wealth management experience as sophisticated as you are. It's time for Corient.
You know you have an account with Philadelphia. A, they're covered properly. You know, the policy is second to none. And B, you're going to have no service issues, whether it's inspections, claims, billing, whatever the problem may be, they're on top of it.
I love working with Philadelphia insurance companies. It's easy doing business with them. They make us look good.
It's a cultural thing with Philadelphia. Everybody is there for you.
Total Platform Tennis, the country's leader in court construction and facilities design, is now offering modular warming huts. Here is a sample of what we can provide. For more options and to learn more about this exciting innovation, visit our website at totalplatformtennis.com.